Hey everyone! So happy Easter. Today's Easter, and not all of us celebrate Easter, but I think all of us definitely celebrate new life and new beginnings, and uh, I guess what some people would call resurrection, but the resurrection on a daily basis that we make in our lives. And today, I am inspired to create a meditation vision quest into a very deep part of ourselves where we can reemerge like the phoenix. And the phoenix, for those of you that don't know, is the symbol of resurrection, and it means, dying and being reborn. It's like the seed that goes into the ground and becomes something new, or the part of us that becomes alive after we have felt dead in our life in certain ways, certain areas, certain relationships, fears, blockages, different things, resistance primarily to in different areas of our life, and that get in the way of our being our fully embodied, empowered, and amazing self. So I wanted to create a meditation today where we can easily let go of some of our resistances and let in a new energy that can create a momentum that can bring us into a new life and a new beginning, like the symbol of the phoenix, which you can see behind me on my beautiful green screen. So enjoy the phoenix, enjoy the meditation, and just a word before we start. It is a very busy day on my street with all the neighbor kids out playing and all the parents, and so there's going to be some background. I have the doors and windows closed, but it is a very festive day today on my street. So, and I greatly appreciate that. Is there anything better in the entire world than people loving and enjoying each other, and especially children playing? So, yay for that. And I hope to always have the problem of too much laughter of children in the background to make my meditations. That would be a very good problem to have. So let's get started. So I'm going to turn on a little flute in the background, so we have just a little bit of Zen meditation going on, and everyone just find a comfortable place where you're going to be completely undisturbed. If you're prone to falling asleep, I recommend sitting up. If you will not fall asleep and you can release more easily, then I would suggest lying down. The object is to be able to let go of your body and your frame of reference, your personal perspective for the duration of the meditation, and allow yourself to move into deeper parts of yourself, and maybe parts you haven't explored in a long time. So just get comfortable and let's close our eyes. Take some deep breaths. And let's start with just feel the parameters of your body, where you are right now, sitting or lying down. And we want to let go as if we're a block of ice that's melting, where we can just completely let go of what we consider our bodies. So starting at the top of your head, just bring your awareness there, and we're just going to imagine that we're just slowly from the top of the head down, just turning to an ice block. So starting at the top of the head, just want to feel moving down the sides of your head, your face, the back of your head, your neck and throat, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, hands, chest, stomach, back, pelvis, thighs, knees, calves, feet. Feel your whole body as though it were a block of ice. And then we're going to inhale, and on our inhale we're going to bring in what feels like fire into our bellies, and the fire is so hot that it's going to begin melting, and we're going to begin melting from the top of the head. So just a few breaths, just releasing. Exhale all your air out, and then inhale. Feeling a fire light in your belly, lighting up so hot, reaching to the top of your head and beginning to melt. Feel your body relaxing, melting from the top of your head. Inhale, breathing in fire, feeling yourself melting now in your shoulders, down through your stomach, your arms. Last breath in, inhale, fire, and feel the melting now down through your pelvis, thighs, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Feeling yourself now like a puddle of water, and then begin dripping down through the chair or couch or whatever you're on, and dripping down through the floorboards of the structure you're in, all the way down to the earth beneath you. And then feeling yourself moving downward through the earth, feeling the cool of the rocks and the dirt as you lower deeper and deeper into the earth. Not knowing where you're going, but knowing that it is beautiful and glorious and safe and comfortable. Feeling yourself move down, feeling the adventure of it, feeling the texture of the rocks, and then feel yourself coming to what feels like an opening. When you arrive, you see you're in a cave, a large cavern, with crystals hanging, crystals everywhere. There's just a shimmer of some light. You don't know where it comes from, but it's almost like moonlight, but it fills the space. And you see reflections of the crystals everywhere, and then you see water. And the water looks like it's moving, liquid crystals, and you feel it calling to you. So going over to the water, you're just going to step into the water and feel the cool stream. And as you're comfortable, dipping in deeper until you're all the way up to your neck. And then you feel the water just rushing through you. And it's a sensation like you've never felt before. It's like a deep cleansing. And as you're in the water, you feel refreshed. You feel clean, and you feel pure, and you feel like the whole world has been lifted from your shoulders. And you feel like every cell of your body is alive and is dancing in a perfect rhythm. Then you put your head in and you feel your hair, and it feels so wonderful. And you begin to feel as though you could be like the water, or like what looks like the liquid crystal, and you feel so good. And all of the worries of your life and concerns and anxieties and resistances are washing away. And you're noticing as they're washing away a new strength inside of you, where it's as if there's so much more of you, even though so much is washing away, and you feel stronger and you feel larger and you feel more solid and clean and pure and innocent, and all of a sudden you're feeling laughter just ripple through your body, and you feel joy like you've never felt before, and playfulness, and you feel a desire arise in this playful, innocent place. You feel the desire to see where the stream goes. So you look around and you see a log over on the shore, and you go over and you get the log, you bring it out to the water, and you hop on the log, and with so much excitement and thrill you begin rushing down the river, going so fast and feeling the water splash up on your face, and you don't know where you're going because it's dark, but you don't even care because you feel so alive and you feel so good. And you're moving so fast, and there's twists and turns, and you don't know where you're going. You're throwing your arms in the air, knowing that you're safe and knowing that this is so fun. Still feeling that laughter rippling through you, that joy. And continuing down the river until you come to a shore. You wash up on the shore. It's a sandy shore. And you feel that eagerness inside of you again as you step off the log. And you step onto the sand, and you feel the sand under your toes, and it feels so good. And then you look around, and you're in a space that's so much bigger than the cave that you were just in. In fact, it's as big as the world that you consider to be the other world above you. You see a sky, an expanse, you see mountains, and you notice that it's dark, but there's a full moon, and there's trillions of stars, and the moon and the stars are bringing so much light that it's as if the entire cavern is lit up. And you can see mountains in the distance. And you hear a stream, or maybe it's the river, and it's rushing through. And then in front of you is a field, and it's soft and mossy, and soft grasses and wildflowers. And you begin walking, and it looks silver with the moonlight and the mist. And you begin walking, and then you notice in the distance, somewhere near where you hear the water, you see a fire, a bonfire. And your desire to be there is so strong, you begin running, and you're running over toward the bonfire. And as you're running, you're feeling the wind, and you feel like a child again, laughing and playing. It's as though you're frolicking. And you continue to run until you come to the fire, and it's a huge bonfire, and it's so beautiful, and your whole being wants to be there, and it feels so hot and warm, and you love the way it feels. And suddenly you notice that there's some flutes in the distance, and you listen carefully. And then you hear a drumming. Boom, boom. And you hear the drumming. And it gets louder and it gets louder. And then you look at the moon, and it's full, and it's filled with radiant light. And you see the stars, and it seems like so much more than the Milky Way and anything you've ever seen in the sky before, and it goes on forever. And you notice that the moon and the stars are both shining brightly and lighting up everything around you. You hear an owl in the distance, and you see the outline of the trees, the dark trees against the sky, and your attention is brought back to the fire, and you notice the drumming again, and you notice the flutes. And then you notice, you look around, and around you are many people, 15 maybe more. And you notice that they seem so familiar that you feel at home with them, but you don't remember where you've ever met them before. And they're dancing, they're moving, they're swaying, they're a part of the music. Suddenly you wonder, are they the music? Are you hearing music? Or are you seeing people? And then you see the fire. And you feel the heat of the fire, and you notice in the fire there are flames. And inside the flames there's images. And then you hear the drumming, and you hear the dancing, and you see the dancing, you feel the dancing, and you see the moon. And all of a sudden you can't tell. You can't tell where the sound is. You can't tell what the movement is. And you notice that your body is moving, almost involuntarily moving with all the other people. And you're in a steady rhythm. Boom, boom. And the fire is getting larger and stronger. And you look into the fire and you feel as though you are inside the fire, burning. And all the people and the music and the drums and the moon and the stars and the trees and the owls and the sand and the river and the meadow and the flowers, and all of it is one, and it's all in this magical dance. And you don't remember there's a you. All you know is that there's everything, and everything is moving, and everything is perfect. It's like the dance of eternity. It's like the dance of life. It's like a mosaic of all things that ever were and ever will be, moving in perfect rhythm, and grace and ease and passion and fiery expression and beauty and rapture. You feel pure exhilaration and you move like the flames of the fire. And now you are the flames of the fire, and you're moving and you're flickering and you're dancing. And then you notice in front of you, or is it above you, somewhere, you see a spectrum. And it's the life that you consider your own. And you look to the left and you see all of the parts of your life that you love so much. You see your lovers, your family, your children. You see your home. You see what you do on a daily basis. You see everything that you love. And then you move your eyes to the other spectrum and you see all the same things, but they're different this time. And you look at them, but they don't look so beautiful and so glorious, but they look wanting. And you move back to the other side and you see everything in its fullness, and you see yourself. You see yourself like you were in the river where you're laughing and you're playing, and you see yourself weaving in and out of traffic perfectly and always finding places to park and having beautiful experiences in your work and in your creative expressions. You see magical lovemaking with your partner. You see your children laughing and playing, and you see yourself dancing. You see yourself happy. You see yourself cooking and eating and playing and hiking and wandering and thinking and having ideas and and feeling inventions and expression and creativity. And it's so beautiful, and it captures you on every level, and you love what you see. And then you move your eyes, and on the other spectrum you see yourself in all of the same expressions, except this time you seem forlorn and depressed. You don't feel that excitement, but you feel sadness. You feel lack. You feel fear. You feel not enoughness. You don't feel any desire. All you feel is sadness and lack of wanting, lack of passion. And then you shift your eyes again and you see your life filled with passion, filled with desire, and the full expression of everything that you most love. And then you notice a spectrum as you move back and forth, that you have every variation in between. And then you begin to notice that wherever you focus, it begins to take new form. So you say, well, I'm going to focus on the part that feels most real to me, and you focus somewhere in the middle, and you see the life that you normally live. You hear your alarm clock. Oh, you see yourself going to work. It's okay. You see yourself feeling mediocre in your friendships, in your relationships, feeling disinterested with your children. And then you come back into the fire and into the blazing fire, and you say, you remember where you are, and you look back and you say, I can look wherever I want. I'm going to look all the way to the left. I'm going to look to the place and you begin to refocus into the place of your greatest joy. And suddenly you realize that you're not seeing expressions of your life so much as you are seeing what look like almost waves or patternings or rays of light. And when you look in that direction, you feel alive. You feel invigorated. You feel filled with passion. You feel filled with love on the deepest levels of your being, every part of you. And when you look over to the other side, you see what looks like broken pieces of glass, brokenness, vibrational patternings that are broken. And you just begin to watch and you say, this is too much for me to comprehend. I want to go back into the dance, into the fire, into the passion, into the life. And you go back in and you feel the movement. You feel the people moving. And once again, you can't tell, is it fire? Is it drum? Is it flute? Is it dancing? Are they people? And you feel yourself like the fire, like the flame, rapturous, expansive, filled with passion and desire and knowing and clarity and awesomeness. And then above you, you begin to see the patternings of what you saw before, but this time they're forming, and it almost looks like they're making a shape, and it almost looks like they're made of fire. And they're forming above your head, almost like a halo, but much further up. And they're dancing like sparks, like flames are dancing above you. And as you reach your gaze and reach your soul into the space of these energies, you feel like you did in the water. You feel alive. And you begin to notice, just for a moment, that there is a difference between the sound, between the drum, between the flame, between the moon, and you start to remember. You remember that you are a part of all of it, and you are also this perceived self. And immediately your attention goes back up to what's above you. And you look closer. And you realize what you had been looking at is the place of your desires. And you realize, for the first time in a long time, you feel what your desires are. Say, I want freedom, I want adventure, I want passion, I want ingenuity, I want brilliance, I want creativity, I want steadiness, I want balance, I want satisfaction, I want appreciation, I want joy, I want playfulness, I want lightheartedness. I want beauty. I want grace. I want ease. I want perfect synchronicity. I want my life to be like a ballet, or like a perfectly synchronized piece of artwork. And your desires are so real, and you feel so passionate, and you say, where have I been for so long that I forgot what I desire? And immediately you look back and you see, oh, the other place where I wanted my desires, but I haven't let myself believe that they were possible. And so in my disbelief, I cut myself off from my deepest desires. And you look at that place of sadness, of obligation, that place of depression, of musts and oughts and shoulds, correctness, judgment. We say all of that because I'm afraid that my desires can't happen. And so I resist them, and I create for myself this other reality. And the awareness is so powerful. And you shift back into the flame and you say, no more. And you open your heart and you say, where are my desires, and where are you? I want to follow the thread of where you will take me. And immediately in front of your eyes and in your soul and in your body and every part of what you are on fire. And you're on fire with life and visions and expression and movement and clarity and adventure and freedom and goodness and awesomeness and appreciation. And all of the things of your life, everything that you love begins to roll forth, and appreciation floods your experience. Appreciation for your life, appreciation for your body, appreciation for the trillions of cells that know exactly what to do, appreciation for your health and the unbelievable ability of your body to know what to do all the time, to heal itself, to breathe. You realize that you didn't do anything to keep your heart beating. Since the day you were born, you've never done anything to keep this body going, and it just keeps going. And you see the beauty of what you are, and the complexity and the subtlety, and your heart explodes with appreciation. And you look around the beautiful world, and you see the sky and its expansiveness, and you see the moon and the stars, and you feel the planets orbiting perfectly together. You see the humans of your planet moving about perfectly, like a perfect dance, like a perfect rhythm, and you feel the deepest appreciation for the perfection. You hear music everywhere, and you say, the ineffable. Sound, where does it even come from? So beautiful. You see the birds, you see all the animals of the planet. You see the millions and millions of years of movement and evolution and growth and expansion, and your heart just sings. And then you move back into your life, and you feel where you sleep at night, the safety, the comfort. You feel your home. You feel the meals that you eat, that there's always food for you there, and it always tastes so good. You feel your friends, such appreciation for the beautiful beings that show up in your life. You see your children, if you have them, and their perfection, their innocence, their profound wisdom. You see yourself in your fullness, in your full expression. And then you notice again that this is all happening in this space that looks like waves above you, like fire, like crackling fire. And you say, I want from this moment forward to know that what I desire in my life is here for me, is available for me. And you decide to release, and you release all of the resistance, all of the self-sabotage, all of the fear, all of the shoulds, all of the can'ts, and you let them fall behind and burn in the fire. And as you do so, your heart rises and rises and rises, and you begin to feel yourself rising all the way up, and like a doorway or like a portal, there's an opening, and it opens up into the place of all your desires. And you feel them, and they embrace you, and you embrace them. And your whole being, every part of you becomes ignited with passion, with knowing, with clarity, with truth, with celebration, with life, with creation, with expression. And in that moment, you burst like a flame bursting. But as you burst, it's not like you go away, but you become in that moment a majestic bird, a phoenix. And your wings slowly come out to your sides, and they have a strength that you've never felt before. And they, and you feel them, and you feel the steadiness, and you feel the strength, and you feel yourself soar. And at that moment, you notice that the moon is setting and the sun is rising, and you're flying, you're soaring into the sunrise, and you see the light spread across the entire landscape. You see the mountains, you see the meadow, you see the vast expanse in reds, yellows, orange, purples, and you fly, and you're soaring over a mountain, and you look down and you see it's snow-capped, and you continue to soar just on the edge of the earth, and you see the rocks, and you soar further down, and you see wildflowers beginning to grow on the mountain. You see some goats, and you see some bluebells and some crocuses, and you notice the sweetness and the innocence of the flowers and the preciousness of the goats. And you sweep further down, your heart bursting, your eyes filled with tears, tears of tenderness, of love, of appreciation. You feel the freedom, and you continue to soar. You make your way back over where the bonfire was, and you notice that it's no longer there. And you wonder, was it a dream? Am I dreaming now? And suddenly you notice on the ground, right where the wildfire was, the bonfire was, you see something shimmering. And you descend down, and you notice it's a diamond. It's a diamond the size of a golf ball. And you reach down and you pick it up, and you hold it up to the rising sun, and you see the light shining through like a prism. It's shining through everywhere. There are rainbows all around you. And you hold it in your hand, and as you hold it, you feel your whole self alive. Every cell of your body fed. Satisfaction, appreciation. You're alive, you're on fire. And you hold it tight in your hand, and then you press it against your heart, and as you do so, it melts. that melts into your heart, and your whole body becomes like liquid, liquid crystal, liquid diamond. And the light of the morning sun shines through you, and everything that refracts out of you is the magnificence of that diamond, of your heart, of your soul. And you soar again. And this time you're doing waves and flips and playing in the air, and you become playful again, and you're so free, and the experience is exhilarating. And you've never felt so alive. And then you notice that the sun is getting warmer, and you suddenly feel the desire to come back into the place that you consider your body. So you begin to descend and make your way back over to the log. And when you arrive at the log, you feel alive in a way that you've never felt alive before, in a way that you never even believed or conceived of feeling. It's as though your soul is on fire with life and joy and boundless energy and exhilaration and laughter and silliness and fun. And you hop on that log and you jump in the river again, and this time the river takes you back to where you came from, and it's rushing along so fast, and you feel the wind and you feel the splashes of the water, and you just can't stop laughing. Again, there's laughter rippling through your whole body, and it feels so good and exhilarating. You feel adventurous and free and safe and filled with love and life, and you're swiftly making your way down the river, until finally it drops you off at the shore. And this time it's the shore of the cavern that you came from before. And it looks so different, and you wonder how long ago you were there. How long ago did you descend into that cavern with a world of concerns? They are so far gone from you now. And now you are lit by the fire of the phoenix and the perfection of the diamond. And you begin to make your way back up through the dirt, and this time with eagerness and excitement, like a seed that's growing, and you're reaching up through the dirt, and you feel the coolness, and you're reaching and you're striving and you're allowing, and suddenly you pop up through the dirt, and you feel your way through the floorboards of your house, and up through the chair you're sitting on, and back into your body, feeling yourself back in your body. Feeling the flame of the phoenix and the fire of your passions, of your desires ignited. Feel what feel like wings. Feel your cells dancing with life. Feel your hair, it feels alive. You feel your heart, it feels alive. You feel your face, it feels alive. Your hands, your feet, your whole body, your whole being. You feel into your heart, and you feel that liquid diamond, and you feel the light that's beaming forth from inside of you, the flame, as it lights through the diamond of your heart. And in your mind's eye, you see it reflecting out into what you consider to be your real life. And you realize that everything in your life, everything you experience is a reflection of that diamond in your heart. And you realize that your life is malleable, that your life experience comes from inside. And you realize that anything that you desire is available to you. And you make a decision. You make a decision to allow yourself to desire what you desire. You make a decision to allow yourself to feel, to come in touch with what you desire, and then to let it burn, to become a passion. You make a decision to follow the thread of your desires throughout your life and know that that flame is an accurate indication of your soul's journey, of your beingness, of the completion of who you are. And you know that this completion goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. And you feel so appreciative to be in this process of eternal growth and evolution, and at the same time to be aware of it, and to be aware that the life that you live is a reflection of your heart. It's a reflection of your deepest desires realized. You realize that you are able to resonate with everything that is your desire, and in your allowance that you find the resonance to embody completely and fully the person that you have become and are becoming and will always be becoming. And in this moment, feel into your most precious relationships, your children, if you have them, your significant other, if you have one, or ones, your parents, your family, your friends, your neighborhood, your community, your city. You feel the preciousness of those close to you, all the way to those that seem far from you. And you open your heart and you extend the upliftment of who you are right now to all beings. And in this moment, you make a decision that life will always have ways of throwing you so that resistance comes up. And that's okay. It only strengthens our desires. It makes clearer our path. Yay for contrast. Yay for moments of resistance so that we can become clear about where we're going and clear about who we are and clear about our deepest desires. And when those moments come up, you just know it's not so hard to find your way back. It's not so hard to find your way back to appreciation. Sometimes it just takes a minute. And the whole journey that we're on is to learn to get back into the place of the phoenix rising, of our deepest soul's evolution, of our expansion, of the awesomeness of existence, and to stay there as much as we can and not to get mad at ourselves when we're not there. And you make a decision to remember that this is why you're here. What else is there to do other than to live? There's nothing we have to do. There's no shoulds. There's no ought to. There's no must. There's nothing that anybody has to do except exist and be alive and be filled with love, with Source, with God, with the Phoenix, whatever you want to call it, to be embodied in full resonance with your desires on a daily basis, on a moment-to-moment basis, and to allow yourself to, moment by moment, live the life experience of embodied passion, purpose, clarity, desire, fulfillment, satisfaction, appreciation, awesomeness. And you accept that this is who you are and this is your purpose. And then we're going to imagine the sound of children laughing, and that laughter encompassing our whole soul. And we're going to take it in on a deep breath, feeling laughter and joy and playfulness and lightheartedness and appreciation and awesomeness, and letting it flood every bit of you, and feeling the silliness and innocence of a good, happy day. Begin to deepen your breathing. Begin to notice the sounds around you in the room that you're in. There's a heater. Begin to feel the temperature of the air. The air against your skin. And when you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring a little movement back into your body. Notice your jaw. Relax your jaw. We're just going to sit silent just for a little bit and just breathe in the phoenix. Allow yourself to fully and truly and completely embrace a new beingness, a new life, a new person, a new beginning. Feel yourself ignited with life. Feel yourself free, allowing, receptive, aligned, satisfied, flowing, open, resonant with your deepest desires, mindful, authentic, appreciative, trusting, intuitive. Feel this opportunity for a new life. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I love you all very much. And may we all fly and soar like the phoenix on the winds of life and God and awesomeness. Happy Easter for those of you that celebrate Easter, and happy Rising Phoenix Day for everybody.